Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Faces for Autism Love Streaming Telethon. I'm Jacob Hackett. You've heard my interviews throughout the evening from different people coming from different walks of life, supporting different programs. My next guest works for the Atlantic Center of Independent Living in Galloway, New Jersey, and he's here today to tell us more about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Donald Campbell.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Jacob. And as Jacob said, I'm the director of the Atlantic Center for Independent Living. We're a nonprofit support resource and advocacy center for people with disabilities in Atlantic County. We provide five main services: information referral, where we connect people to resources; peer support, we have peer support groups ran by and for people with disabilities. We have life skills training, so getting help with anything like budgeting, how to write a check, hygiene, stress management, better communication, negotiation skills. We help with that. We do transition, so anyone who needs help gathering resources to transition from school to work, or volunteering to work, or maybe they want to transition from a segregated living situation to a more integrated living situation. We help with that as well. And of course, we do advocacy where we help people advocate by and for themselves. And we also do systems advocacy where we help the community become better representative of disabled people. Like we've done a lot of advocating for people with disabilities across the state, making sure the state responds to their needs during the pandemic. So yeah, that's us. And like I said, it's great to be here.
And thank you for being here. For those of you that don't know, Donald came to when I was a student at Atlantic County Special Services and gave I believe, 6 weeks about the
Yes.
CIL and to to tell us what we need if they need our help looking into the future, whatever the case may be. And he he and his uh, assistant Lisa, they came over and they told us all about what the CIL was and what we need to, if they need us, they gave us resources, and it was very informal. And this is Donald. You're the perfect guest tonight because this is really what the people need. We're a telethon, so people are viewing this from all over the country, and there are probably many other resources like the CIL across the country.
Right. There are there are cells all across the country. They exist nationwide for people with disabilities. So if you and they do different things. We're a new cell, so we um, do different things than cells that have been around for 20 years. So if you're in another state, whatever state you're in, I would just Google Center for Independent Living near me, and you will find resources um, and the cells in your area that can help do the same five core services that I explained. And the other great thing about cells is they're run by and for people with disabilities. So we're mandated to have 50% of our staff and 50% of our board um, have actual disabilities. Like I have cerebral palsy, like Jacob. We have people at the center that have other disabilities, and we have people on the board that have other disabilities. So you're learning and gaining resources and experience from people with disabilities. And like Jacob was saying, we did our life skills workshops covering topics like social media safety, technology, how to build a support system in in the the Atlantic County Special School District, and we were able to give them those resources that way. And we also offer those same life skills resources either individually or in groups. So if you or your school district in the Atlantic County, New Jersey area is interested in having our workshops, please let us know. And like I said, if you're not in this area, Centers for Independent Living, they might not do exactly what I'm doing with my workshops, but they do offer those services. So I would definitely give them a call if that's something you're interested in.
Yes, yes, for anyone watching this, it's very important. Like your child may need a resource. You yourself could need a resource.
Right.
Um, Anyone could need a resource. We're not discounting. We're not limiting ourselves. Donald said it. If you need help and you're in the Atlantic County area, the office is located in Galloway.
Right.
I will have Donald give the number. There's contact information, there's social media. I get a newsletter mailed to me monthly about the different support groups. If you're interested, Donald can give us that information at the end of this interview.
Yes, that would be great. And we're always looking for uh, more people to get involved and more people to get our services. And Jacob's right. If you have any connection to disability whatsoever, we're a great resource to start. In a lot of ways, we're like the 411 for people with disabilities to go to when to find information and to get the resources they need. Um, like Jacob said, and I would also say, even if you don't feel like you don't have any personal connection to disabilities now, people are living longer, and the longer we live, people get disabilities if they're lucky to live that long, and people also have their relatives and loved ones get disabilities. So it's just really important. Even if you don't know anyone with a disability now, I think eventually you will. So it's great to know that our resources out there, and also it's important to know that our resources are no cost to the consumer. So um, you don't have to pay anything. You also don't have. We don't have a time limit for how long somebody can work with us. So you can work with us from the time you're 4 years old through your parents to the time you leave this earth and pass away. As long as you want to be a member and a part of our center. So it's a very much a process about building a relationship and going through life's challenges and just having a support system to help you get there. If you're wondering, how do I apply to Social Security? How do I, you know, how do I apply to college? How do I apply to DVR? What are some tips for writing a resume when you have a disability? Those are all things we help with here at the center.
Right. And as I said, they have support groups. They're not meeting in person. You're meeting just like this tonight on Zoom. And
Right. That's a great point, Jacob.
and you have so many different categories, Donald. As I like to say, there's something for everyone.
Yes. Yes. And like Jacob said, we're making it as accessible and as safe as possible. They're on Zoom. We have topics stress management, acceptance, how to build a support system as our groups. We have groups on transitioning to college with a disability. We have an advocacy group. We have a group about anyone who has a disability that results in chronic pain. We have a lot. We have disabilities just about living with a disability. We have groups just about living with a disability during this pandemic, and we just started a current events group. If you want to discuss current events, I mean, like Jacob said, we really have something for everybody. We have weekly activities um, on topics like organization and how to avoid procrastination. There's just so much out there, and we really want and people to view our services, and it's just a click away. All you got to do is click. So it's as easy as it can be.
Yeah, Donald's preaching the Center for Independent Living, and I'm sure because you're on Zoom, if you're living out of the state, he was or not out of the county, and you wanted to see if it would be the appropriate fit for you, they would be happy to have you.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Even if you're out of the county and thinking, "Oh, I'm out of the county. I'm interested in these groups, but I don't want to go." Come and check them out, and we'll also tell you about the Center for Independent Living in your area or in your state. But don't feel like, "Oh, this only pertains to Atlantic County, New Jersey. I'm in Tennessee. I don't even know where that is." Come check it out. Maybe you'll like it, and and I always tell people, anytime they're thinking about joining, it's not a marriage proposal. It's not a lifetime commitment. If you don't like it, you can always leave or go somewhere else. So, you know, you don't have to feel trapped either. So just check it out. Just check it out.
Yeah, Donald said it. Check it out. Any of you watching this that know me personally, I would be happy to give you Donald's contact information or information about the CIF.
Yep, and like Jacob said, you can check us out on social media, Atlantic Center for Independent Living. Just search us on Facebook. We have an Instagram, same thing, Atlantic Center for Independent Living. We have uh, um, our website. Just Google Atlantic Center for Independent Living, and it comes right up. We are easy to find if you can find us. And like Jacob said at the end, I'll give my email and my phone number, and don't be afraid to use it.
Exactly. And I asked you this before, Donald, and it's when things open up, you'll get talking about opening up again and doing more in person.
Right, right. So we're gonna even when we open up, we're gonna keep the virtual groups because people like them and they're accessible. So don't worry about losing that. But we are gonna also do when it's time to open up more things in person. Right now, we're not doing any office appointments or any home visits, which we usually would do in normal times, because it's not. Even though I think the light's at the end of the tunnel with this new great vaccine news. I think things are going to start opening up and we're going to feel better soon. We're not quite there yet, but when we are, I can't wait to have people at the center and just meeting us and seeing people in person because I miss seeing people in person. It's been a long time.
Yes, Donald, it's been a very long time. Well, you know some of my friends, Joe Brown.
One of my favorite people, Joe Brown. Yes.
Yeah, yes, like people like him. Like for those of you that know me well enough, well, I have not been down at the Field of Dreams. A lot of your sister organizations around the state of New Jersey have not been open. Uh, all I can tell you, and Donald will tell you the same thing: keep the faith. Things
Yes.
will open. Uh, and you're doing a very good job donating tonight. Please.
Yes. Keep the faith and keep supporting organizations like ours and like this because if we've learned anything with this pandemic, it's that a lot of the issues that people with disabilities talk about are very important. Accessibility at work, being able to have accessibility at school, being able to have good health care, being able to have good transportation and good housing. All the things we people with disabilities talk about. I think sometimes people without disabilities sometimes think, oh, that issue doesn't have anything to do with me, but I think we've learned during this pandemic a lot of these issues that affect people with disabilities disproportionately also affect our community as a whole. And if our community and our society address these issues better, it would be better for all of us.
Exactly, Donald. Things would be 1,000 times better if these issues were better handled or addressed. Because I'll give myself as a, I'll give a personal example right now, and that is when we first came into this situation about a year ago. No one knew what we were walking into. No one knew that everyone thought it was a short-term deal and we would be out of it like quickly. And sadly, that didn't happen. Here we are, almost a year later, and we're getting there. Just continue. My advice: just continue to be proactive, and we will get there.
I agree with you, Jacob, and you're exactly right. I remember thinking, we'll go home for maybe a week or two, maybe three at the most, and then we'll see things open up again. But we learned that, this situation was more serious than we originally thought. And I would really encourage people to stay informed, um, and, get vaccinated if you can, and to keep yourself safe. Because, like Jacob, I think his main message is, even though it feels like this stuff is never going to end, it is temporary. And just hang on. Just hang on and be positive. And there are a lot of resources out there, like Jacob, who's always there to help and always passing along great work. Resources like the Centers for Independent Living. There are a lot of great resources and opportunities out there. So if you're feeling isolated, reach out. Or if you know somebody that's feeling isolated, reach out and maybe we can get them some support.
Yeah, any support is necessary. Any support is important. Whether you need a little, whether you need a lot, we will be happy to help you. And please donate to Faces Tonight. Donate to the Field of Dreams. We need your support more now more than ever.
Yup. Yep, and if you're ever interested in donating to the Atlantic Cell, if you're getting to know us, you can go to our website at atlanticcell.org and donate there as well. So there are great resources out there, and that's the other great thing about Centers for Independent Living. We're always looking to partner up and to work with groups like Faces, like other resources in our area that do great work, because we're really proud of the other organizations that are doing great work to help people with disabilities. So if you're already working with another organization but would also like to receive services through us, that's okay. We are able to work with anybody, even if they're working with another person, even if they're receiving services from another organization. You don't have to worry about the services conflicting. So if you need additional support from your cell, uh, in your state or in Atlantic County, in our case, please don't hesitate to reach out.
And thank you, because Donald, that's the message I tried to drive home several times tonight. Donate, please. Faces will help you. Field of Dreams will help you. Donald will help you at the Sill. We will all help you. Just two simple words. Reach out.
Right. I agree. I agree with you. And I'm just great to be here. Any other questions, Jacob?
I do have one more question
Yes,
as we
ask away.
wrap this up. Um, you said you you gave the statement as you're a new SEAL, is what you said.
Yes. So I always say we're new. Maybe I feel new. We've been around about three years, and so we've been around for a minute, I would say, but I still consider us new, a baby still, sometimes they call it. So we've just really started, I think, getting in the community and introducing ourselves. So again, if you don't know about us, that's okay. Don't feel embarrassed and don't feel afraid to again reach out.
Good.
And if you think that anybody else who benefit from our services, don't feel be afraid to give us give them our information. And my phone number, just so you have it, is 609-748-2253. That's 609-748-2253. We're open from 9 to 5. And for my extension, you can hit number 5. That's number 5. Or You can email me at D like Donald, Campbell like everyone's favorite soup, CAMPBELL, at Atlantic like the ocean, CIL .org, O-R-G.
There you have it, friends. And I will post that on our social media tonight. That is D as in Donald, Campbell as in soup, at Atlantic Sill Center for Independent Living.org.
Yup. And please, as Jacob said, the theme of this conversation, please reach out and try our services. And I'm so honored to be here and thank you and Faces for having me.
Thank you, Donald, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.